Can you silence your phone?
What is the most memorable memory you have of Singapore?
I really enjoy my primary school days. Back then, how we actually take a lot of pride in celebrating all the different racial celebrations in Singapore. Like for Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, Deepavali, we will always have like our school concerts, or sometimes we will decorate the classroom back in primary school. So I think that's something that's very memorable.
So the most memorable memory I have of Singapore would be the $1 ice cream truck, the one at the car parks and the HDB blocks underneath. Every day after school, right, the ice cream truck uncle would just be right outside my school. So back then, in primary school, your school money allowance was only like a few cents or $1, right? And the ice cream was $1. So I actually wouldn't have money to buy it, and I would always have to get my grandfather to buy it for me. So I like pester him, bug him to buy it for me every day.
Back then, we didn't really have a MRT, so we used to take a lot of buses, and the buses didn't have air conditioning. We would stick our heads out from the bus windows, and he would sing, songs that we would listen to on our Walkman with our cassette tapes. You remember?
Saya ni adik era 70-an kan. Masa tu untuk mencari jodoh, dah bertemu jodoh di Sentosa. Jadi saya akan bercerita dengan anak cucu saya, di sinilah mak atau nenek berjumpa atuk kau. Ada masa juga macam saya merajuklah kaulah kan, orang perempuan suka majuk. Kami akan pergi di Sentosa. Faham je lah, kami macam pilih Nustan, dia akan memujuk saya. Itu yang saya tak boleh melupakan di pantai Sentosa.
Okay, my favourite memory is when I was in secondary school. I'm schooling at St. Andrews, so it's at Potong Pasir. So nearby my school, there's this like very huge block, like with 3 lifts. And so what we do after school is we always play block catching, and we always play block catching and always get in trouble because like all the neighbours will be scolding us like, hey, what, don't run around, it's so noisy and all.
During primary school days, right, we will have those excursion to the zoo whereby you have the dogs, get the answer correct, right? Then you get some souvenir from them. And since then, I've been an animal lover, so I have a collection of like the different notebook and calendar of the zoo.
One of my most treasured memories happens to be at the Old National Stadium. My dad used to work a lot in grassroots, and he had NDP tickets pretty much every year. My most favorite parts of the NDP were the military vehicles that went past, just a huge array, and then they're so spick and span, it's like they've never been used before, which is a good thing. And of course, the fireworks right at the end, along with our national anthem, just really emotional, and that's something I won't ever forget as a small boy.
My favorite memory will be the Youth Olympic Games, we call it the YOG, back in 2010. So I was doing Taekwondo back in school, that was what I pursue. And then we had athletes come in here, they were elites, so I could tell, how much difference it was for someone like me and someone like them.
So the most memorable memory I have of Singapore is connecting with people through music. So I'm Filipino and I'm a PR that grew up here. I actually joined this interest group in Republic Poly called Replug, and from there I actually learned how to perform, and so I actually met the best people there, and I made the best memories as well. It was in 2019 where it was my last year of Poly, and it was also my last performance. It was the most memorable performance for me because there were thousands of students in front of you, and they really appreciated what you were doing on stage. That made me feel like home.
Saya sentiasa setiap tahun adik-adik dan kita family akan buat gathering di tempat Aloha Chalet. So setiap tahun kita akan pergi waktu bulan 3 di mana ibu bapa saya punya anniversary. Nanti bila kita sampai, kita adakan game, kita akan pergi swimming, kita yang mana nak cycling, dan malam ada buat barbecue, kita juga ada order macam-macam makan, nanti orang akan hantar makanan untuk kat kita.
My most memorable place in Singapore is in Pasir Ris Beach because I literally felt like I grew up there. My sister and I, we would go cycling at Pasir Ris Beach. We would get our little nets, to catch little fishes, mud skippers. Yeah, mud skippers.
The most memorable memory I had about Singapore was when I took part in Chinggis Parade 2020. Since it was my first time performing, it was really a great experience for me. I was able to see different race performing, like Malay, Indians and Filipinos. And then it took us, I think, about 3 months to prepare for this. It was tiring, but it was really, really good and memorable for me.
I want to transport you to the playground. We climb, we jump, and that was the time that you explore your imagination, where you start to build your so-called scenarios with your friend and you start playing. It can be a war game. You go into the longkang like as if they are your trenches. You don't care what's inside the longkang, but what you want to do is to be happy, to really experience having all your friends playing together with you, and that is just wonderful.